me to realize that everybody's dick bags.
Yes, that is
Just
true.
saying.
You'd think.
You
but
would
I'm kinda
think.
slow, you know.
Oh, heck.
We are live.
He had a hopeful heart.
We're live.
We are live on the internet.
Live?
Yes.
Someone say we're live.
What episode is it, Mr. DM?
Episode 69.
Oh,
Nice.
Per usual.
Of Destination Divergence. Welcome, welcome. Last time, you guys had a bit of the tail end of an encounter with some bandits from the woods above you. Also, is this really quiet? There it is. Narrowly escaped some combat there. And unfortunately, they made off with some of your food and other supplies of less wholesome nature, and left you a few coins in return.
See, even the DM says unfortunately. Jeez.
Either way, you guys... supplies, yes. Either way, you guys made your way along, hoping to have better luck in Thaliost. In A, to resupply, and B, to finish creating the amphibious party bus. Because I don't think we've picked a real name for it yet. That is it.
The Magic School Bus.
The Magic School Bus, yes. Correct.
For us, it should be the Magic Fool.
Wow.
Correct.
And Charlie and Faye's the captain.
Ross designed it. He should get to name it.
I don't think there's anybody on the Magic Fool Bus that isn't magic in some way or another, so it's perfect.
I'm
yeah,
not
Faye is inherently the most well, actually, Leroy.
Even your party barbarian
magic.
is a pretty magic barbarian.
True.
Hot
Guys are
damn.
pretty magic.
Either way, you guys have parked
Anyway.
about a day's travel away from Thaliost and have sent a couple people in. I think it was Leroy and Eli. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And it was also someone else. Was it Carrick?
I think Carrick went into Thalios.
Yeah.
It was three
Three
of
of us. Okay, I couldn't remember. It's been a couple weeks. Thank you, though.
Yeah, it's been a while. My brain's a little bit fuzzy on what we're gonna do today.
Been a while.
I don't know why.
Oh no.
I remember that Leroy is acting like a big macho bodyguard.
Yes,
right,
indeed.
right.
You have some disguises planned. And so we'll start off with you guys just entering travel for the day. I think I have it. Yes, in my notes, you did get through that last long rest successfully. All that. Kieran, I did track your downtime for you last session because I assumed I knew what you would do with it.
Oh, yes. Thank
Sure
you.
thing. And so those of you who are staying behind can go ahead and take a day of downtime with the Magic Fool Bus parked and the other three party members traveling. Unfortunately for those of you traveling, you're not on a bus anymore, you're on horseback. It's a little bit harder to do downtime stuff, so you won't be getting downtime for today.
Okay.
Well, where are you going with them? I believe it was Karik, Eli, and Leroy.
I don't think Nakarth was here to decide.
Oh.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. Nakarth wasn't here to decide if you wanted to join or not. Nakarth, would you like to go on a road trip?
Nope.
Okay,
I got recognized last time.
fair enough.
Escape culpability that way. Okay.
Did you get recognized next time?
I mean, I assume it was us, and they got a better look at me than you the first time. So, I don't know.
All right.
Because we forgot to reapply the...
Yeah, this time I'm gonna remember to reapply the whole disguise kit. Disguise
I
kit
think it's
stuff.
better if everyone that can just already disguise themselves it just goes.
I wish I had a spell that could disguise myself. I don't know why I didn't get one of those. I got
Well,
everything else, but I don't got one of
You don't
those.
have one of those?
No,
Well,
I just do the
no,
manual
Christine would-
application. I'm pretty good with makeup. So don't tell anybody about that though.
Oh, right. That's why we picked that over people that can just magically disguise themselves, because that was an issue. Since
Okay.
Catalina saw Strange.
All right, I'm gonna take my downtime.
So Carrick is the
Yeah.
only one who's magically disguising himself.
Sounds like it, yes.
Yeah. If you want, we can do a makeup party, Carrick.
I have it covered. Thank you, though.
All right, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay. So, fortunately, your day of travel passes pretty uneventfully. The early morning before you leave, similar to the past few nights, there is a remarkable and strange phenomena of weather over the city of Thaliost. Another thunderstorm quite early in the morning that is very powerful but very brief, and seemingly very localized over Thaliost.
And I forget, was that localized over a single building? Like, did it seem to be Igor pulling the lever or not? I can't remember the answer to that one.
With a day's travel distance between you and there, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But it was notable in that, unlike many weather phenomena, it didn't cover like any significant portion of the horizon. It was just over the part of the horizon that was the town.
Didn't Carrick tell us what it was already?
Yeah, it was like the House Leorandar controlling the weather there, right?
He told us it was the weather tower.
Yes.
Stormspire, something like that?
Stormspire is
The
correct.
weather tower.
We got there.
Yes.
Yay.
So you all know what is causing this, but not necessarily who or why.
Yeah.
Either way.
Is that ever really important?
Unlikely.
Oh?
Leroy, Eli, and Karik. As you guys get closer to the town, and light begins to fade as it gets later in the day, you begin to see the light of the town glow brighter and brighter. But strangely, the gate seems to be glowing brightest of all. It's still quite a ways away, but looks like there's a lot of lights outside the city.
Oh, heck. Just like in Latlier?
Aw, shit. Here we go again, guys.
Make me an investigation check to see if you can put together the visual information in front of you and make inferences about it.
Carrick is gonna look through with his eagle eyes.
Okay. Carrick will definitely see a bit more, but first, Leroy, this doesn't appear to be the same kind of pattern you saw outside Latlier, no. Then Carrick zooming in with his eagle eyes and getting a better look at things. This appears to be a mob of some kind with pitchforks and torches.
Oh.
Oh god.
I'm not. Is it like going in towards the city or out?
It is going in towards the city.
Well,
I don't think
that's
it's for us, guys.
Well,
Something's going on in the city.
I mean, we can do some reconnaissance and like go ask one of the people bearing the torches and not the pitchforks. Maybe one with like less of an angry face. If you can see one of them.
No, they're all looking pretty angry from here. Hard to tell.
Oh, goddamn. Well, what if one of us goes up with like a torch and pretends to be one of them, and then like does some sleuthing?
I think a couple of us could get away with that. I might go invisible and fly over.
That's an option. Could you do both?
Like him flying over and one of us.
And also being invisible?
And also, two
What time of
spells
day
at
is it?
once.
It is late in the evening at this point. Or, well, I guess it's early evening, but because of the time of year, it's already dark out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we weren't gonna go shopping today.
Yeah, so if we could just follow the mob into the city, and hide amongst the mob, we can find ourselves in the city with no problems. Also, we could find out what's going on with the mob and whatnot.
Or we could just wait to see how it turns out and just go in afterward.
Yeah, or we could do the less exciting thing. All right.
Well, I hate to be a killjoy. I just don't want to be killed.
I mean, I also don't want to be killed, but like, what if we help the guard, the city guard, figure out what cause the riot is for. If the rioters have a good cause, we'll help the rioters. But if they have not a good cause, we can start knocking some heads together, knocking people out to help the guards, you know? And then they'll welcome us in with open arms. They'll be like, "Hey, heroes!" I think that's a good idea.
I don't think knocking heads is the best way to lay low right now.
Ah, true.
Apparently,
Hey, I got
Yeah.
this spell called Synaptic Static. You know, if I just center it.
I'm not saying I'm joking. Also, more aesthetic. So, which of these guards or these rioters are giving you trouble? Oh, great! Everyone, 40 to 20-foot radii just
a real quick meteor swarm. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you want, I can make a couple of us invisible. I could fly over the crowd and see what's going on, and then one of you could maybe run up and listen.
All right, I can run up and listen. I'm pretty small, so I can fit between people's legs and whatnot. Even though I'm invisible, but like you can still bump into people, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. I'm still gonna put my disguise on though, in case the invisibility drops at any point.
That's fair. Good idea.
Just so if I get caught, it's my alternate persona getting caught and not Eli.
All right. What will Leroy be doing? Just holding back?
I think that my save this out of character, can't I? I think that my role was supposed to be as a bodyguard for Eli. If he's going in invisibly, I'll just hang back.
Okay. So Leroy will hang back just on the side of the road, hopefully a bit out of sight, especially considering the large distraction ahead. And
I'll try and crouch as much like a rock as I can.
yes, and Eli, are you leaving Juno behind then?
Yeah, I'll leave Juno behind for this one, and I'll just go on my own feet.
So Juno will wait patiently with Leroy.
Juno, stay right here, okay? I'll be right back. Pat.
And can I have both of you... yes. Can I have both of you make stealth checks at advantage, please?
All right. Stealth? No, 25.
Okay.
All right, 20 and 25 is not that bad.
Pretty good. And Carrick, you're using your winged boots, is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I'm using to just fly over.
Okay.
And
just double checking.
Say 15 feet above.
Okay.
Lower if he needs to get closer to here. And he's got his wow, his eagle eyes that he's looking for.
Okay. So as you guys approach and get within hearing range of this mob, not just being able to see them in the distance, you start to hear the shouts, the clamor of many different voices stumbling over each other. But you hear a lot of repeated words in there, and some of the more, recognizable voices that stand out, whether they're deeper or more shrill, etc., helps you pick out various things. You hear Silver Flame, you hear Oppressors, and you hear On Dare. Quite a lot. Specifically, as you get close, Eli, actually, both make perception checks for me, please, as you're getting close, but it doesn't seem like anybody has noticed you.
Is it a sound or sight?
Sound. Okay. That's fine. It's not a particularly hard thing to notice. It looks like a couple of the larger, looks like a half-orc and kind of a more burly human, lift up a dwarf on their shoulders up over the crowd so that his voice carries a little farther, and he says, "Down with the oppressors! Down with the silver flame! Give us our land back! Give us our home back!" And then the guards point him out, and he slips down into the crowd again.
Fuck yes.
And then, Carrick, please make me a perception check relying on sight, since you are elevated.
How can I make this just have advantage?
I think you can hold like Shift or Alt or something. I can also see if I can turn off.
Left alt.
Yeah, I think I can turn off fast forwarding skill checks. I'll make a note of that next time.
Did that know?
That's fine. 19 is good. Kark, from your elevated position and just kind of looking around the edges of this place, you notice a cloaked figure dash off from the group down the wall. Seems like trying to take advantage of the chaos of the crowd in order to slip away into the shadows. Not inside the city, but outside the city.
Okay. So they were inside the city, but they are like coming down the wall coming outside the city.
It looks like they came out of the crowd.
Okay.
And it looks like they were intentionally trying to not be seen by the guards, but from your elevated position and in the opposite direction of the guards, it was much easier to spot them.
And they're hooded, right? So I can't see what they look like.
Yeah. They have a cloak up over their head, but you could tell their height and such, especially with your excellent eyesight provided by your magic item. They don't appear to be a dwarf or anything smaller than a dwarf. They appear to be either a human, an elf, a half-orc, something of that size. The more average, like 5 foot and up races. That's all you can really tell from now, though. They don't appear to be overly large, like a Goliath, or one of the smaller races.
Which direction are they running?
They are running south.
Is that where our cart is?
Is that where what is?
Our cart, the bus?
Your bus is to the west.
Interesting. Can I see Eli from where I am?
Eli is invisible.
Oh, right, we're both invisible. I forgot. We didn't think about communication. Carrick is going to kind of fly and just like land towards the back of the crowd, like outside the crowd, like 10 feet away, but like right behind it.
Okay. Make me a stealth check, please, to mask your landing.
Yeah.
Yep, you're fine.
Nice.
You probably left a little bit of an indent in the snow, but definitely not a sound, and somebody would have to look pretty hard to see the footprints.
Perfect. He's gonna just go, "Psst, Eli."
Eli, make me a perception check relying on sound at disadvantage due to the incredible noise around you.
18.
Okay, unfortunately that is not enough to hear Carrick's whisper over the sound of a riot.
All right.
Completely hit.
Invisible me is like creeping through and weaving towards people, towards the big guy that was holding the door, like to investigate, check this person up and down, you know?
So you're looking for the two larger figures that held up a dwarf before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, was it a dwarf?
Yeah,
not a
they seemed
dwarf?
they lifted a dwarf like above their heads so
Oh.
that he was above the crowd so he could shout further. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for them.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
19.
Okay, scanning through the crowd. And then also, while you make that, if you're trying to move through the crowd as an invisible person, make me a dexterity saving throw to see how well you can
That's reasonable
avoid
enough.
being elbowed and such.
Nat 20.
You bob and weave through that crowd like you're a master at it, and nobody touches you or bumps you at all.
Perfect.
And so while you make these movements that would look almost unnatural as you make your way through this crowd, if anybody could see you,
But nobody can.
you do spot the figures that you saw before. They are still side by side, kind of towards the middle of the pack. There is a fairly large, well-built human and a half-orc.
Very large, well-built human and half.
And now that you're closer
mid-
again, and now that you're up upon them, the dwarf that they lifted up is between them.
Oh, so that must be the leader. Is what Eli thinks in his head. What would Eli do? Okay, now that Eli knows where they are, Eli's gonna try to head towards the front of the crowd to see what's going on at the doors. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
I'll let that dexterity saving throw persist. You again weave your way through the crowd, trying to see if you can gather any more information. But as you get to the front of the crowd, it starts to get a lot more dense, and you feel like you probably couldn't push through it without actually pushing people. People are just shoulder to shoulder packed at the front. But you get close enough to see guards at the gate holding people back on both sides. It appears that there are people on the inside just surrounding the gate from both sides. It looks less like people are trying to break into Thaliost and more like people are attempting to be a very strong nuisance to the guards.
Oh, so there's people inside the city trying to... Ooh.
It's like they're just clogging the gate.
So they're supporting, basically, the rioters by messing with the guards.
Yes. The gate is open, and people are just clogging it.
Alright, and how many guards are there?
You see above the crowd 4 guards stationed on kind of platforms, similar to the one you saw in Danthaven. Where, some of the Silver Flame would stand up in an elevated position so they could better see into carts or to look over crowds as they are being inspected. And then up on the wall, there's at least half a dozen guards over the gate, but those are out of reach of the crowds. The guards at the gate, the 4 of them there, are having quite a rough time. It doesn't seem like anybody has physically attacked them yet, although it does appear some things have been thrown at them. Some of them have, it looks like, fruits and vegetables smashed against their armor, things like that. And they're just kind of, they have their swords out, kind of held to the crowd like, stay back, don't come any closer.
Wow, seems like a tense situation. Sure hope nobody inflames it.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If I... No, that'd be bad. That'd be bad.
At this point, Carrick, the figure you saw earlier is almost out of your sight.
Shit. He's going to fly up and he's just gonna fly Yeah, okay. First things first, he's gonna fly right up to the person, or try and like overdrive dash to the hooded figure and try and get in front of them to see what they look like.
Okay. Make me a stealth check. And also, what is your total speed with your fly speed, overdrive, etc.?
I think my winged boots just do my movement, so overdrive it'll be 45 movement speed.
45 movement speed, and you're dashing, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, then make the stealth check at disadvantage.
Or it would be one roll.
Yes, correct. So 12. Because your visual form is being entirely erased by the spell, but things like your winged boots are still flapping wildly here, especially being overdriven by other magic items on you to go as fast as they can. You don't feel like you could be a lot stealthier if you go slower, but as you make your way to the front of this figure, who is now running full tilt, it seems like you're just barely faster than them. They don't seem to notice you, thankfully. And you see underneath the hood, it's kind of hard to make out as they're literally running with this hood flapping occasionally in front of their face and stuff. Make me a perception check, please. This relies on sight. Okay. You are able to clearly see, despite the difficult circumstances, the very smooth, angular features of a half-elf. Appears to be a male half-elf, middle-aged, perhaps a bit young. And they have a look of determination on their face.
Ooh.
Interesting. Carrick is going to, while flying beside him, say, "Are you with the mob?" Just like real close to him.
The figure immediately stops, as well as he can, moving at such a fast pace on snow, kind of slamming his heels into the ground and sliding forward, and then spinning around and drawing a dagger and looking in the direction where your voice came from. And then just looking around, very confused, on edge.
I mean no harm. I'm not like this to hide myself from you, necessarily. I'm more just curious to know if I can help you.
The person keeps looking around for a bit, this half-elf, and then begins to settle in a little bit and puts his dagger down by his hip and kind of sheaths it again. Says, "It's not like the Silver Flame to lie. But how can you prove that I can trust you?"
Are you saying that you think I'm the Silver Flame?
Well, give me a reason to believe that you're not.
If I can definitely give you a reason to believe that if you join me to meet my friends. We have a changeling among our group.
Well, that would certainly prove it, yes. But unfortunately, I cannot go with you now. I have to be somewhere. Is there somewhere we can meet later? And just to be warned ahead of time, I will not be coming alone. So don't try and set a trap or anything foolish.
Oh, I'm not expecting to set up a trap for you. I guess we are heading to Stormholm. That is our eventual destination.
Well, I have no business there. My business is here. I mean, our fight is for Ondare and for reclaiming our land against Thrain.
I see. Well, what would you say a group of adventurers should do in a situation like this? To help
The
out?
party is about a day's journey west.
Oh, a day's journey west of the city.
Yes, you guys stopped a day away, and the three of you who traveled for a day to reach Thalios. Or a bit less than a day, but still. Roughly.
Eli would know that Leroy has message.
True.
I mean, sending.
Yes, he has used it in your presence before. The voice says, "I'm sorry, I really cannot stay much longer, but,
What is your name?
I do not trust you yet. I cannot give you that information. But, I don't know your face to recognize you by. But if I listen for your voice, perhaps I can recognize you somewhere else.
Just remember the name, the strangers.
The strangers. Well, if you all will book a room at the first Golden Dragon Inn inside that gate there, under the name The Strangers, I will be listening and I will wait for you there.
Inside Thalios?
Inside Thalios.
So I shouldn't do what I want to do.
Do you want to synaptic static the crowd?
No. I want to turn into a mammoth and charge through the fucking gate.
I mean, technically,
Oh my
you don't
God.
know anything that Carrick's hearing right now.
Yeah, that's true, Ashley.
God.
You don't know anything. You should do whatever
Literally,
your character
what
would do.
Eli wants to do is open those gates and then get the fuck out of Dodge. That's literally what you.
I will note. I might not have been clear about it. The gates are open.
No, I mean like clear that way.
Oh, okay.
Like plow through the fucking guards that are in the middle there.
So
Yeah,
running
synaptic
over
static's
a riot is
covered.
okay, but casting Conjure Barrage isn't. I see how it is.
I will note.
These are violent rioters attempting a coup. It's different.
I
Against
will.
the Silver Flame, who are also fighting.
I will note as well. The
Not different.
the guards are not in the way of the gate. They're to either side of it. It looks like they're in a position to inspect traffic coming to and fro. The mob is kind of in the gate, in the middle of the gate, kind of clogging up the gate so that traffic can't come to or from, can't come in or out of Thalios through this gate.
So they're not trying to go in. They're just clogging it.
It is hard to tell their exact motive without speaking to any of them, but it does appear that there are people inside the gate and outside the gate just surrounding it from either side. That is what you can see at the moment.
Yes, DM. I'd like to cast Polymorph and turn myself into the armored type.
Oh my god.
I'm going straight through that gate.
I don't think I can polymorph into that.
I will get back to Eli in a second, though, once we
Okay.
finish this conversation with Carrick.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. That was a good question. So, Carrick, yes, he has explained to you where and when to meet. What is your response?
So, thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, I hope to see you there, and I hope that you are not lying to me. And then the figure just leans and then takes off running again.
Same to you and good luck. And then Carrick will fly away back towards the crowd.
Okay. So now back to Eli.
So it's gonna be cool, but if Eli can't see like the clear "I want to come in," he's not gonna plow through.
Okay.
Also, he'd be plowing through the crowd and not the guards, since the guards are to the side.
Yes.
So that just ruins my whole exciting.
I'm
plan.
sorry. I miscommunicated the situation.
Okay, no, it's totally fine. I thought they were like in the middle of two
Right,
crowds,
right.
but never mind. I don't know. So Eli would, I think, would try to weave back through. I don't think he tried talking to anyone because he's afraid that this mob is just gonna turn towards the unknown voice and fucking trample him. So he's just gonna like squeeze his way out of the crowd and head back towards where Leroy is.
Okay. So we'll say, as luck would have it, both Eli and Carrick end up back near where Leroy is at about the same time.
How convenient.
How convenient.
Oh, hi, Leroy. Leroy, have you heard from Carrick at all? I can't see him. I also can't see myself.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you. What news?
I just got here as well, actually.
Oh, hi there. I don't know where you are, but like, hello.
He snaps his fingers and the invisibility ends.
Oh, that makes things so much easier. Okay, so, uh, it's an angry mob. I don't really know what they're doing. They're not trying to storm the city, but they're kind of like pressuring the guard folk. It's kind of confusing. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how to help without killing myself. But they definitely don't like the Silver Flame, and they said give us our home back, which like maybe some of them are like prosecuted by the Silver Flame, similar to Faye. Who knows? Um I saw what I assumed to be the leader being guarded by two big burly guys. He was a dwarf, surprisingly. And that's all I got really.
All right.
Oh,
So,
that and there's people inside that are supporting the people outside. So it's kind of weird.
okay. So to clarify, this mob is a group of people trying to take control of my character sheets in the way of Thaliost in
I think
aid
they
of.
want to smash down the Silver Flame because they said like, like they said on there, so I assume it's a countrywide thing and not just city. But this might be their first stop. Who knows?
I see. So, are we going to help them now?
Leroy, upon hearing this, you would be familiar with some of the effects of the treaties that ended the war. And Thaliost and as much of the Silverwood as the border covers here was given to Thrain as part of the treaties and was originally part of Ondair. Like, the river here was the original border of Ondair.
I see.
So Thaliost is natively an Ondarian city. And it has only been under Thrain occupation for 4 years.
I see. So it might not be all of Train. I think this is probably more just Silverwood down to the waterfront. Based on, do I remember who decided that? Is this like a draw lines on Africa and they'll get used to it, or just a treaty that the government made that people didn't like?
It is the result of land taken during the war that was then finalized in the treaties after the war. You would also know that Latlier, a city you've been through recently, was originally a Thranian city that was taken by Ondair. So just during the war and during those conflicts, the lines got a bit fuzzy, and then they ended up in different places when the treaties were all signed.
I see. Well, it seems that this is, I'm just going to relay exactly that because Eric's brain is not feeling up to translation
Sure,
quite well.
That's fine.
Oh, all right. So they just want to be a part of their old country.
I think they just want their home back, yes.
Well, that's shitty. So I want to help them, but I think we need the rest of the group here to do that. Carrick, what did you see from up above?
Well, I could fly back up there, but I spent a lot of my time talking to a cloaked figure that walked away from the mob, or not walked, but was sprinting away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, they were trying to stealthily sprint south, and I managed to catch up to them and question them. They seem to be against the Silver Flame and want to meet us and see if we are worth trusting.
Like us three?
Oh, me specifically, but I mentioned that I am one of a group.
As a note
All
as well,
right.
I think this is probably a good time for an application of passive investigation, which both Carrick and Leroy would have pretty good scores in. I've been trying to come up with a good interpretation for this, but you guys saw the Storm Spire before, and now that you've chased this guy to the south, you also notice and kind of piece together the Storm Spire is to the south of the city. And so your passive ability to put information together and form deductions from it, which is what investigation is, gives you that extra little clue there.
So
He was likely heading towards the Storm Spire.
oh, interesting.
Oh, I was trying to get the way deeper out of it. So what does it mean that they're using the Storm Spire if this guy was going towards it?
So should we bring the whole crew in here? Should we just let them know what's going on, or?
I think we should probably bring the rest of the crew in. If
Wait.
these are Baron, yes.
Into the whole city?
Well, yes. If I suppose I should ask, are we going to help them overthrow the city?
Not.
Oh, hell yeah! Fuck the Silver Flame!
If this is still going on when we get our group over here, I'm all for it. But they're still a day away.
Yeah, the conflict might be over by then, but we'll see what your friend of acquaintance says. But we gotta make sure that we keep a close eye around when Faye's here, because I don't want her getting hurt,
For sure. And my acquaintance can wait. This is much more pressing in dealing with this and with the group, and yeah, I say we send a message to Faye. You have that capability, don't you, Leroy?
Yes, I do. So, I mean, in the intervening time, should we go act as diplomats? We are probably the most forceful people around.
I mean, what can we do? Just talk to the guards being cornered, or talk to the group?
Well, I'm sure there's some power structure in place in Thaliost, and if we were to say, listen, your city is going to disappear if you don't appease these people, we can help you to maintain a good quality of life afterward. We might be able to find some sort of peaceful outcome while everyone else is on their way, and if not, well, then we tried.
I think we should message the group first and maybe see if they have any input on what we should do.
Sure. So what should we say?
Well, I would say don't immediately say angry mob want to take down the Silver Flame, because I feel like Faye's going to jump on that real quick and tell us to go down there and fight. Which is totally fine if we decide that in the future, but we need to be thoughtful about this and not put our feelings into it.
Sort of allow for a round-table problem-solving discussion.
So maybe say that we got here. There's no checkpoint, but there's an angry mob. And we are not entirely sure what to do in this sort of situation, if we want to be diplomats or help aside or not. And then maybe mention that there was some stranger running away from the angry mob. I don't know. That could be a separate thing. We could talk about to them later.
Yes, I think I have a general sense of what to say.
Perfect. Because I don't know what to say.
Alright,
Me
so
neither.
I will wiggle my fingers and begin to cast message. I mean sending. You know what, I'm going to cast message to Eli. Hey, I'm going to cast sending now. You may reply to the message.
All right, I don't know why you said that in my head and not aloud.
Classic.
Oh, I forgot. You know. I will begin to cast Sending. And I will. Who will I call? Ghostbusters. Shut up, Eric.
Gonna do it.
I'll I'll call Faye, and I will say, situation near Thaliost is somewhat more complicated than we had anticipated. I would request that you arrive as quickly as possible for discussion.
That's probably close enough to 25 words.
Yeah, I started getting.
I was like, I lost count at 20. It's probably close enough.
If you talk fast enough, the DM can't.
Perfect. So, Faye, you have...
You know what? I said one giant binary word. She can figure it out.
you have 25 words with which to respond. First word, Good.
Yes. Yes. Shit.
3.
All of us? Question mark. And is it safe for me?
Question mark is technically 2 words.
Question mark.
I know.
You have 11 more words.
Oh, you don't have to use them,
Alright.
but...
Fuck you, I'm eating.
There we
That's
go.
true. You can always resolve them.
Yes, exactly.
Are you
Alright.
pooping?
You up?
My parents are.
Oh, God.
All right. I will receive that message, and I mean that sent amount of information. And I will cast Sending with my other spell slot. That's one. Yes, situation seems potentially extremely favorable for you. I have forgotten questions to ask.
The other question was all of us, question mark.
Yes, please. That's exactly 25 words.
There we go.
I
Okay.
counted that time.
I relay this to the party.
Yep, I'll give you guys time to discuss before you immediately reply back. That's fine. I don't think the spell mentions a time frame or anything, so you're good.
Cutie
New
just bit
message.
my pinky toe.
Oh no.
You bit your pinky toe? What the fuck?
Bit my pinky
What an asshole.
toe. Cutie.
That's a cat move.
Such a cat move.
Alright, what's close to
Big
me
cat
and
toe.
vulnerable?
The pinky toe.
Mother, I crave violence.
So,
That shit looks like it hurt.
so to the rest of the party on the magic fool bus, you may discuss this briefly.
Yo.
The magic fool bus.
What are we discussing? No one's filled me in on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone to relay the entire message to me.
Nick, what the
What the
fuck?
hell?
Word for word.
Word for word, please. Thank you.
Can I get it in 25 words or less?
Yeah.
You
Yes, you
can.
can. Yes, you may. Yeah, I'm assuming the message was communicated.
Yes, Faye did mention that.
I wasn't listening to that part.
We don't listen to Faye here.
No, we don't.
I guess I'll ask then, for the sake of time, is anyone against going into Thalios after receiving this message?
Oh.
Nope.
Doesn't sound like it. Okay. So I'll assume...
Yes, on principle, but only because Faye delivered the message.
Wow! Okay.
Whoa.
Damn.
Juicy.
What I put up with.
Secondary question for the Magic Fool Bus party. Are you guys leaving immediately, or are you going to take a rest? It is late evening at this point. Are you going to try and overnight it there, or are you going to wait until the morning and start traveling down?
God, no, in the
Making
morning.
Nala stay up late.
How urgent did it seem? 2 Faye.
What about?
How urgent did it seem?
Um, I
Is it
mean,
critical?
only so much tone can be interpreted from this message, but no, I don't think it's critical. I don't think they're in danger. I think we need to get there safely because we'll need to have our faculties when
Our
the time
teachers?
comes. Oh, the Lord be testing me.
Alright, then we sleep and then we go.
Yes.
All right. So you guys will rest. For the non-magic full bus party, the other three, what are you guys doing? Are you guys just going to camp somewhere, or are you going to try to make your way into the city?
Magic full bus is gonna stick, isn't it?
Yes, until you give it a real name, Drost.
I feel like we shouldn't try to make our way into the city while there's a giant fucking angry mob there with pitchforks. I don't know about y'all, but I think we need to just rest up and maybe keep an eye on the events. Maybe write a ledger.
Second
for,
opinion, that is the best time to sneak into a city when the guards are busy.
The easiest time, not the best time.
The easiest time. But you guys won't be. You guys most likely won't be sneaking into the city, so we might as well just all go together.
That's true. I would be absolutely shit at sneaking in any situation.
Exactly. So like, why don't we just have me and Faye like talk up the guards in the morning, and everything will be all right.
I
Seems
say
like
we-
a questionable choice to have Faye involved, but I'm ready to roll.
I mean, if we see Silver Flame, you hide your ass and not talk. But if we don't see Silver Flame, you can come into the guards. It's fine.
Oh, that's right. Everyone isn't Silver Flame. Fair. You make
Yeah,
good
not
points.
everybody.
Nope, kill them all.
Faye is on it.
So are you guys going to camp outside then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Or
I think we should walk as far towards the cart as we can, and then bed down for the night, just so we can like try and keep the cart out of eyeshot of the city if possible.
You don't want to keep an eye out for the at the mob and see what happens?
As much as I would, I think keeping our cart out of sight is the most important.
I mean, when the car gets here, we can just, fall back.
True.
Or Leroy, do you have another send-in?
no, I am tapped for today, having cast 2 spells.
Wow.
Normally
Yep.
with my staff, I could cast a 3rd one, but I did leave it for disguise purposes.
All right. I'm not going to say anything else because it might come off as a little judgmental. So why don't we just leave it at wow?
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're not
Fucking
wrong.
judgy ass bards over here. Like,
I feel bad for you. Where do you get your magic from?
Well, there are certain things I can do whenever I want. For example, this, I say, in his head.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yes, or the fact that I can currently read any language or cipher, or I make my eyes flash blue with a, what's it called? Detect magic. I can do this whenever I want. It's just, those less common things like sending messages or casting spells other than my Eldritch Blast,
All right.
Blast.
Oh, actually, shit, I spec out of Eldritch Blast. I forgot about that.
You what?
You
What?
What?
Don't worry about it.
Warlocks without Eldritch Blast are the cooler warlocks.
No, that's
Take
not
that
true.
That's my hipster warlock speaking. It's fine.
Yeah, No, I play Gulux, I cast Eldritch Blast until I need more invocation slots than I have.
Why cast Eldritch Blast when you can cast Battle Axe?
I'm casting Toll the Dead now.
Why cast Battle Axe when you can cast Fist?
That's a good point.
Where did you even show up from? Who are you?
Okay, so we'll say you guys walk. I think you probably have like an hour left of travel in the day before I'd start rolling for exhaustion. Would you try and push it beyond that, or are you just going for a little bit out of sight from the town?
I think
Out of
it's
sight.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's fine.
the idea was to move away from the town so you weren't like camping right outside the gate, I assume.
Oh. I assumed that's where I was hiding.
Oh, I mean,
That's
you would
okay,
have
no
that would be a
worries.
lot farther away. Yeah, an hour travel.
Yeah, no, I was hiding right by the edge of the mob.
I mean, you were hiding just far enough back that you couldn't really like super hear them yet, but you could kind of see their vague shapes in the darkness. And anyways, so we'll assume you guys,
Federally judicious.
yes, travel back a little ways and perhaps off the road a bit and make camp. Does anyone have a way to make like a shelter or anything for the group?
You can make fire.
There you go.
Who's got the hut?
I have catnap.
You could make a fire, sure. And then I'll assume Leroy is taking the watch for this group.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I will cast Alarm around us
Okay,
with that ritual casting,
cool.
because I've never, ever done that before. I
Leroy
want to use my...
takes out some silver thread and a bell and just quickly does this arcane ritual in an area around your camp.
The bell is the cowbell.
Yes. For those of you back at the Magic Fool Bus, who is keeping watch?
Y'all don't have Leroy anymore.
It is
Oh
me,
shit.
Tross. Tross will take first watch.
Okay. Dross and Leroy, perception checks, please.
Can we see each other? Oh, this is... I'm not going to do research.
Tributes.
Okay, just normal
Better.
perception. Sounds good.
Perception with advantage.
Because Dross still has the shield. Yep.
Do.
It's a fairly clear night, and you can see for a good ways into the distance around you. The moons of Eberron are high in the sky. It's not near any of the borders of time when a moon would be a new moon or anything. So there's as much light as there possibly could be for an evening right now. And Drost, despite you not being quite as used to others at keeping watch, you're pretty confident that nothing even remotely came close to you throughout the evening. Not a single cart in either direction. Almost a little strange. You keep a little bit of an extra eye to the north in the Silver Wood where bandits came from before, but nothing. Not for this watch. Who are you waking up?
Oh, Nakarth, obviously.
Come on up, Nakarth, and
Damn it. Alright.
Oh, you weren't trying to work on something, were you?
No, not at all.
It's yes.
Yeah, fucker. Alright. Alright, you're gonna actually make me roll something. Fuck, what is it? Oh, that's a natural one. Fantastic.
okay. Nakarth mutters to himself about his work being interrupted for the whole watch, and
Then goes back to
yeah, just kind of has mental arguments with Drost about it, and he wins every time, of course, but it's not very helpful for keeping the watch. Fortunately, nothing sprung out at you during that time, so you feel like you lucked out a little bit. Who are you waking up for third watch?
Oh shit. Faye.
Okay. Perception check from Faye, please.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, kind of 11.
Faye, without dark vision, is mostly relying on the external light sources here, the light of the moon, as Nakarth was, but the light of the moon, the light of the stars, and a little bit of light from the bonfire. It seems pretty peaceful out here tonight. And there's not a cloud in the sky. Until there is. In the early morning, you see another thundercloud appear over Thaliost. Again, you're a bit too far away to see really where it is, but it's there. And makes you think about your friends and what they can see. Speaking of, Leroy, you being a lot closer can see very clearly where this thundercloud is located and where it's centered and what the local effects of lightning might be.
Is it slightly south of the city?
It is over the city directly. And make me another perception check, please.
I'm excited to roll another d20.
Much better.
Hey, what's up? God.
Now, with your vantage point much closer to the city, and more of the sky taken up by the city's sky, it's strange. The thundercloud does not look like a normal cloud. It has a hole in the middle. It looks more like a donut-shaped cloud. But not round. It's more...
Donut.
Make me an investigation check, Leroy, following that. Okay.
Oh.
Comparing this shape to the area around you, you realize the shape of this cloud seems to follow the walls of Thaliost. And as lightning strikes down, you compare this theory to the lightning and where lightning seems to strike occasionally, and you don't see much lightning in the middle of the cloud. It all seems to be hitting the wall repeatedly.
The wall of the city.
The wall of the city.
So it's like making a cage. Almost.
It's not constant, but whenever lightning does strike, it seems like it is striking a wall.
Okay.
It's not like constant beams of lightning or anything like.
Right. Yeah.
But every a couple times a minute or so when lightning strikes, that's where it seems to strike more often than not.
Is it like particular spots, or is it just wherever on the wall?
That's about as much as you can gather from this distance.
Okay. And does it seem like they're no? All right. Well, that's interesting.
And
go on with my night.
Similar to some of the others keeping watch, you don't notice any carts coming from Thaliost or to Thaliost. Seems like travel is just the roads are barren for some reason.
Oh my god, imagine there's another angry mob at the river right here, and they're just blocking traffic everywhere.
That'd be pretty poggers.
I mean, pretty good for us, if I do say so myself.
Either way.
True.
You all awake.
Probably would have torn apart that cart.
You all awake the following morning, and as the sun dawns over Thaliost, the thunderclouds disperse.
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all?
Morning.
I'm doing fine.
Has our team gotten here yet?
I take an extra careful look around.
You don't even have to roll for it, and you take a very extra careful look around, and your team's definitely not here yet, unless they're all invisible. That's a possibility.
Maybe they're all invisible. That is a possibility.
Wow, I just had that same thought.
Should we try to get in the city, or should we wait patiently for them to get here?
I would think we should probably wait patiently for them.
Aw, damn. Should we move ahead and try to see what happened with the mob, if they're still there?
Sure, why not? Let's take a look.
Alright.
Can Carrick see if he looks through his eagle eyes?
Do those have a range listed on them, like a number of like miles or something, or do they just say far away?
No, but we can put an arbitrary one on there.
That's fine. I'll just say, since this is a pretty far target, roll me a perception check. It's going to be a fairly high DC, but you'll have advantage from the thing.
If I remember correctly, the specific wording is just very far
Yeah,
away.
I think that's correct. Yeah. That sounds familiar. I'll say, unfortunately, it's kind of hard to tell now, especially with the light out, the sun overhead.
Too far.
It's not easy to tell like it was before with torches out front in the dark.
Aha, it's only far, not very far.
No.
Well, you could have gotten him over right there.
Can I tell if there are still people at the gate, though?
You can tell at the very least, because the gate is a fairly large thing to see, that the gate is open still.
Okay.
I am going to reapply my disguise for the day. In case we have to convince some guards that we're not wanted people.
Sure. When he finishes with that, I'm going to make all three of us invisible.
Ah, well, okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Well, you know, this takes a long time, and nobody can appreciate my work when I'm invisible, but I do appreciate it.
How long did I just stare at him wasting time doing makeup?
Probably a good bit.
It's
I
like,
think it takes is it a short rest to apply? What's the...
oh,
I forget.
I actually don't know myself. I would say that it would be a short rest to apply.
Something like that.
If it's, because like I think about, this isn't just like applying some makeup. This is like costume makeup.
Yeah.
You need to let those things set. You need, like, I've done costume makeup back in my high school days, and it takes a while. So I would say about like maybe like an hour.
So pretty much a short rest
Wow.
while Leroy just watches, and then immediately after cast invisibility.
If only I cast it at the beginning, I could regenerate the spell slot.
Yes, but then invisibility also would have ended because it lasted.
Yeah, I know.
Please, you gotta shitpost efficiently.
Exactly.
Okay. Now that you're all invisible, are you just gonna wait there for the party, or are you going to try and get a closer look?
I'm gonna try and get a closer look while we're invisible.
Okay.
So I could keep us invisible all day if we just sat around.
How long does invisibility last?
It's an hour.
Okay.
I'm just going to confirm that because that felt like a lie.
I think that sounds right. You guys traveled, we
hour.
established, about an hour away from the town last night. So you'll be at the tail end of invisibility once you get there.
Ah!
But you might be able to at least see what's going on before you get to the exact same point you were before. So I'll say, as you walk in that direction, all three of you roll me a perception check relying on sight. Okay.
Well.
Perception.
Karik and Leroy, as you guys get a bit closer, you're able to see there are no people at the gate. There are guards at the gate. There does not appear to be a riot there any longer.
Does it seem like there was ever a riot there?
Yes. There are a few torches discarded to the side of the road, and a surprising number of... And when I say a few, it's actually, again, a surprising number of things just discarded to the side of the road. Torches, pitchforks, sheets of paper, a pouch or two, a sack, some scattered food.
If you expect me to be taking notes on this...
Just some random things that seem out of place to just be
Yeah.
scattered by the roadside.
So, should we become visible and approach them, or...
Is the plan to enter the city now?
I'm not
I
sure.
mean, weren't we waiting for the group? I mean, we can go separate. Well, I don't want Faye to have to talk to them themselves, but we can. I would like to go in and reconnaissance and see if there's any obvious silver flame presence before we bring our friend in here.
I agree. Maybe do you have another spell in you today, Leroy?
Yes, one before I'm going to need to sit down for an hour and take a rest.
Maybe we ought to tell them to hang back and we're gonna go into the city, like our original plan.
Well, have them get here still.
Well, yeah, but like they don't have to come into the city or like do anything crazy. They can just approach.
Yeah.
Sure, yes. Okay, so should I just let us become visible in the middle of the road?
No, let's walk out of the sight of the guards folk and whatnot, and then become visible.
Yes, and I'm gonna apply my disguise as well before we get over there.
Oh, good. That'll give
All
me a
right,
moment
so-
to take a rest.
Well, his disguise
Yeah,
is magical in nature.
Well, fuck that. I mean, something I said.
Leroy, if you want to take a rest, you can just stay here. Me and Carrick will go inside,
Or we can wait. We can wait
Might
for
be
you.
advisable.
or we can wait for you. Like,
It's up to you. I mean, I might. Do I have gaze of two minds? I'm pretty sure that's a feature I've unlocked at this point.
That's an invocation, right?
Oh, is it?
I think Gaze of Two Minds is an invocation.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is.
I think you're right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then I'm just gonna.
It also. Oh no, you can use your action on subsequent turns. Okay, yeah. So that would have been good if you have that.
If you're, yeah. Pretty good if your character's like a quest giver and also the narrator. All right. Well, yes, I think I'll just stay out here and wait for your return. And if you don't, I will send panic messages.
all right,
Oh, are
that
we?
sounds perfect.
Oh, I thought we were gonna wait for you to rest a little bit after you send your message. I think we ought to wait.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that as well.
All right, we wait.
Okay, so you guys
Sorry.
retreat a little bit of a ways back, and then the invisibility wears off. Fortunately, though, you're far enough away that it probably didn't seem as unusual. The guards probably couldn't even seen you from here. It's only by an excellent perception roll and Carrick's magic item that we were able to see the guards before at all. So,
Alright. And then we send a message. What should this one say?
Situation is no longer dire.
Still come to city. Wait outside. We're doing reconnaissance. Is reconnaissance one word? Yeah, no, that's one word.
Well, that was
we
like
can
7 right there.
Reconnoitering is one word, and it means doing reconnaissance. So
I think so far that's 15 words. Unless I missed a sentence in there.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the count.
But if that's all you want to communicate, that's fine. We can go with that.
Sure. Yes, let's just
translate
that exactly.
So yes, I'll assume Leroy with his 19 intelligence would have that good to go. He would just be able to send that message out. Faye, you receive a message saying that the situation isn't very dire anymore. I don't remember the exact wording because I don't have 19 intelligence either. But it's not dire. The party still wants you to come to the city, but they want you to wait outside and not just enter directly.
Loud and clear. I relay this to the others.
Okay. And at this point, you guys would already have been traveling for about an hour. Actually, about 2 hours. Because there's an hour of setting up a disguise, and then an hour of invisibility.
An hour of that disguise being redundant.
Yes. So you're already partially there, but you're not close to the city yet when you receive this message.
And we really have no idea where, do we?
Where what?
Like where to meet them?
Nope. You have been
Like they
told,
just said outside.
come to the city, wait outside. Situation is not dire.
Probably.
So I can send back, right? Like just as a
Yeah,
reply.
yeah.
Where do you want us to meet you?
An hour short rest goes
Yes.
by, or is it a half hour?
An hour goes by after you send that message. You get left on red for about an hour until Leroy responds back with...
This is the most real life thing that's ever happened. Dude, I'm here.
We're planning to reconnoiter the city for extant silver flame presence. Stay out of sightline, that's one word, until we make our return. 5 more words. Have you
Oh,
pooped yet
okay,
today?
you end on pooped.
No, sightline is one word. Sightline is one
Have you
word.
Open-ended. I like it.
I counted sightline as one word in there too, but maybe I miscounted, but
Oh,
yes.
I had my hands up, but I might have been wrong.
It's tricky to count when you're the one talking, I've noticed.
It is hard to keep track. Well, normally I don't.
Mhm.
I just start talking, but now that that's relevant. Okay, well I'm about half tapped again, but let's go.
All right, we're going
So
in.
Faye, you received that message and you do have another opportunity to reply.
Okay.
Wait, do you
Um,
receive both your spells back on a short rest? That's broken.
That's Warlock, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
he
the
only
only
gets
good thing about Warlock.
broken. Broken. Sorry, continue.
Tell that to land druids.
oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna say
Okay.
yes, question mark.
Just end with K.
Three words, yes, question mark. I love it.
It seems like Faye has pooped today.
No.
Yeah, imagine, like, the answer is just yes, no, yes.
That's the perfect response to a sending, yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confused. Why did you ask Faye if they pooped today?
Well, I always like to use all of my communicative opportunities.
And you thought the most
Hey,
dire
hey.
question was, have you pooped?
Hey, battle health is very serious and it's okay to be concerned for your teammates, okay?
Juno poops 5 times a
real.
day. You don't see me asking her question.
Well, that's because she doesn't
Maybe
fly
you
around
so many
today.
times.
Would you be worried? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Faye poop.
I hope
Right.
you haven't seen any of our teammates poop. Do you watch us while we...
No, I've seen Dross for sure. Like vlogs.
Just on the bus.
I feel like that's
Definitely
canon.
Austin Dross.
Well, that's because Dry's got a big poop.
Yeah, Dross Cannon has the smelliest shits in the party.
I mean, no one was ever going to contest that. Like,
I mean, maybe Nala.
Maybe not.
true, he is a baritone.
He is
The
baritone.
Goliath shits are real bad.
D&D, everyone.
Yeah.
We have-
Someone's got
This
the
is what I'm
middle
here
of the night
for.
shit at
We
some
have
What
point.
fallen
D&D is
into
about.
poop jokes.
Yeah, this is real highbrow.
If
guys.
your
Good
D&D
job.
doesn't arrive at poop
Yes,
jokes,
famously
it's not
highbrow
D&D.
campaign.
Okay. Anyways,
Highbrow, thought provoking.
it's now like halfway through the day after all of that. After another rest, are you taking, or are you going straight into the city now?
I think we're just going to go right to the city.
Okay. So it's actually only been 3 hours of the day then. I'll mark that down real quick.
So during our last short rest, Carrick would have said, so just to recap our story, I'm going to be a member of House Lyrandar from Valinar. We were on our way here and we ran some trouble on the road and we need to pick up some supplies.
Oh, we can say that we got robbed by the people in the Silverwood, which I feel kind of mean about saying, but like we technically did get
Oh
stopped.
yeah, we could say we got robbed by some shifters on the way here.
Should have killed them.
And that's
but-
completely honest.
Oh god.
I mean, honesty, lying. I'm pretty good at both, to be honest with you.
I can't wait for somebody in this party to die and replace their character with a shifter, just so we have a shifter and a changeling in the party. To think about those times you guys wanted to kill all of the shifters that are allied with the changelings.
Shifter, ranger, what?
Unless we're replacing the changeling with the shifter.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Anyways.
No, it's okay. I'll be the shifter.
So, a little bit of time later, it's now about midday. You guys arrive at the city gates. The Magic Fool Bus is about halfway to Thalios at this point.
All right.
And now that you're pretty close to the gate, you can see signs of a struggle. I mean, obviously, but even more struggle than you saw last night when you were present. There's a little bit of blood in the snow. Hi, Lily. There's a little bit of blood in the snow. She wants attention. And
Lily has come for blood.
Yes, she heard blood.
He deserves it.
There are pitchforks, other simple weaponry, some clubs and such scattered about, some daggers, a few pouches, some scraps of food. It looks like a combination of... Well, actually, roll me an investigation check, whoever wants to see if they can figure out what went down here.
I'm not even going to try.
Okay. Not a super high DC. Both of you are able to kind of piece it together just as you look at it. Although, I would say Leroy tells at a quick glance. It looks like a combination of people departing quickly and leaving some things behind. And, yes, hello. And others being detained forcibly.
Oh. Are we gonna do a prison break? No, I'm kidding. Alright, so Eli's gonna approach and he's gonna feign curiosity, looking around at all the things in awe. And when he approaches the guard, he's gonna go, "Hey, what happened here? Did you guys get attacked by the Silverwood folks too?"
As you approach, one of the guards kind of steps out from the side of the gate and just puts out a hand as like a halt motion. And
I halt.
He immediately asks you, ignoring your initial query, "What is your business here in Thalios?"
Oh, see, we're here to pick up some more supplies and maybe like a transportation device or something. We got robbed by some shifters from the Silverwood on our way over here.
I see. That would roll me a persuasion check, actually.
All right, I can do that.
Since it's not technically
it's
a lie.
A 22.
A 22. Well, that would make sense then. You don't appear to be carrying a lot of supplies with you, and it would make sense that you were a little bit slower. You see, we sent a message to the west that the road should be closed down temporarily, but if you were caught in the middle, that would make sense.
Oh yeah, we got through the bridge. The guards let us through when we were back over by Daskaran. So, yeah, we must have been in the middle when that happened.
I see.
Yeah, we got robbed in between then.
Well, I'm glad you made it out with your lives. Those bastards get violent when they need something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty hard. Like I don't know how to fight that well, so I just kind of said let's give it to them, which may have
Yes.
been a poor choice, but we're still alive.
No, it was definitely we gave up the supplies that we were meaning to use, but that's why we're here. We're here to get some more.
Well, I should warn you before you enter Thalios that we are in a bit of a time of unrest here. But I'm certain you can find the supplies you need, and, well, welcome to Thalios. He kind of looks...
What seems to be troubling your city?
Oh, just... ungrateful bastards who don't want to accept the Silver Flame.
Oh, that's crazy.
Tries to wipe wine bitch blood.
I appreciate that she's now wine bitch.
Imagine memorizing her name. That could be memorizing whether or not Juno's a good girl.
Oh, Juno is a good girl.
That is irrelevant.
No, it's not.
Well,
I have good authority.
well, if you all are... I am glad to see more people here who understand us of the Silver Flame, and are you all part of our faith as well?
I'm traveling from Valinar. I'm honestly, we have our own religions over there, but I'm more just here as a pit stop, and I'm just trying to move some supplies.
Well, it would do us a great bit of help if you could... If you notice anything unusual, people around here tend to be... they tend to hide things a bit more when the guard is around, and if you notice anything that should be brought to our attention, you will be rewarded handsomely for it.
Well, of course we'll report anything weird to you.
So if they see anything shifty,
Well, welcome to Thalios.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And may the Silver Flame be with you.
And also with you.
Roll me...
And with your spirit.
Eli,
Same denomination.
roll me a deception check, Eli. Not the highest DC, but
22.
a 22. You pull it off flawlessly.
And with your spirit. Oh, wow. Classic.
Okay. So you guys have now entered Thalios. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh.
I do not own any.
No tokens of visions in the scene. Hold on.
It's awfully dark here in Thalios. Wow. I thought we arrived midnight.
It's all
Panic.
dark.
Panic.
Why
I cast
No longer now.
do I...
with my other.
Bleh. There we go.
Oh, there's
Oh,
the
it's
light.
so pointy.
Oh shit, it's bright.
It's pointy.
Yeah, it's an
Damn.
Wait, no.
So
City.
It's a.
you guys have kind of
Oh, damn.
entered in this gate here, the western gate, coming from this road to the south, not crossing the lightning round.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay,
I
the
don't
lightning
I
round.
don't like this right here. The fucking Tower of Judgment?
Correct.
Excuse me.
Knights of Terrain Garrison. Are we gonna ignore that one?
Yep. There is also, to the south of the city, below the map, is where the Storm Spire would be located.
Yeah, there's a House
Like,
Orient
along that
chapter
little
house.
road.
That's what I was gonna try and highlight.
So,
House Orient chapter just seems like our place.
you enter the city walls through this gate, and there is a lightning rail that enters to the side of the gate. On this map, it's displayed, they're too close to each other to separate, but it's not literally people walking alongside a lightning rail. Though it is within sight distance of you. And immediately upon entering, you see, like many other city gates you've gone through on this adventure, a Golden Dragon Inn right in view immediately. They know their placement and they know adventurers want to stop as soon as they finish traveling.
Eli's eyes roll back so far in his head that, like, it does a 360.
Sounds unhealthy.
So as soon as we're out of earshot of the guards, Carrick is going to say to the two of them, the cloaked figure that I spoke with mentioned that if we wanted to speak to me, I should sit at this bar here and give them the name The Strangers.
Eli makes a face and he's like, no. Can you, like, find them and tell them to go to somewhat different inn?
You got a problem with that one?
It's just because they're a chain, there's no homey feel to it. It's not like, you're coming in, it's unique, it's all the same. I don't like it because of that. I feel like we could have a meeting in a much better place.
Oh,
Well, we can let him know, but this is literally my only point of contact with him.
I literally hate this.
I'm not sure.
DM taking notes. Every meeting from now on.
See, the problem is they're literally the most common and most well-known in all of the land, and there's multiple in each city. They're like McDonald's. You see them everywhere.
Exactly, but they're all the fucking same. You can't go to a McDonald's.
All McDonald's
They
are the same.
All McDonald's are
they
the
got
same.
the thin burgers because they're trying
No,
to
they're the
save
same.
money. That there's no flavor
No,
to it all.
Eli-
The French fries are always stale.
Eli is completely correct. The Golden Dragon Inn is literally the conglomerate giant enterprise fast food chain of Eberron.
God damn it.
That is true.
But with room.
But with rooms, yes.
Just in case McDonald's wasn't nasty enough already.
But yeah, I guess we can go into the inn.
So, have we
You don't have
heard
to
of
join
the
me. I can go by
Orient
myself.
chapter
Oh,
house?
thank God.
What was that, Leroy?
Do we know there's an Orient chapter house in this city? Because we could probably go chill there for a minute to get our bearings, get information.
I mean, just by noticing that there's a lightning rail in the city, you would know there's definitely some Orient presence here, at the very least. And indeed, the Orient chapter house there is the railroad stop. It's kind of built into it.
What's
I
the
will-
Orient chapter house?
Telepathically communicate with Eli. We have something of a working relationship with the authorities in House Orion. I would suspect we could find some sort of, I'm going to just pick a random word here, chapter house in this town and use it as a functional base of operations while we're here.
All right, why don't we check that out while Carrick here talks to his mysterious friend and tells his mysterious friend to never meet in a Golden Dragon Inn again.
Sounds good.
Carrick, when you're done, if we haven't found you, meet us at the lightning rail station.
Also, if we don't hear from
Yep.
you in like 2 hours, we're gonna come
That's
looking
exactly
for
what I was
you
about to say.
I
Yes.
guess Selena.
All right.
and make sure you're not dead, because that would be bad.
That would be great.
All right.
Have a nice meeting.
Yeah,
Thanks, and good luck to you as well.
Take a look.
Take a look.
Yeah,
Is
take a
that a
look.
halfling phrase?
She's like,
It is canonically now,
You take a look as well.
just like my grandpappy that has the voice of a little girl.
Oh boy.
I forgot about that.
Okay. So, the two of you head off to the Orient chapter house. Just, you don't technically have a map of this place, but the lightning rail is within view, and you can easily follow it until you find a House Orient building. Unfortunately, it's literally across town, but you make your way there eventually. When you get there, you see just next to the chapter house, it's interesting. This town, despite being on the water, doesn't seem to have a very large port. It's very small, it seems barely functional, and just seems to do bare necessities. Seems like most of the trade of this town happens through land. But there's a massive bridge, bigger than either of you have ever seen before, that arcs up into the distance about a mile, and then just ends.
That's
Like
big
it goes a
stuff.
mile up or a mile out.
A mile out from where it starts, on the edge of this cliff here. There are giant
That's only a
pillars.
mile? That's-
Yeah, there are, well, I mean, a little less than a mile, but yes.
I was like, this place is huge.
About a half mile. Yeah, according to the ruler at the bottom. About a half mile long, with these giant pillars that extend down into the water, and there's just past the end of it, there's some rubble sticking out of the water that the waves are crashing against.
That looks like it was
But
damaged.
the bridge is very clearly marked off with very permanent fixtures blocking it off. Like a gate has been installed into the bridge as like a no trespassing hazard.
It seems optimistic.
It's not like they've just roped it off. It's like, no one is ever allowed here again.
There are no plans to rebuild this bridge.
Correct, and it is a hazard. But you do find the Orient Chapter House, and for the sake of time, since we're getting close to the end here, I'm going to say you guys just enter and start to chill there. There's a bar like the one you've seen, and there's a tap like the one you've seen before. Very familiar Warforged bartender.
Okay.
Oh,
And-
you wanna get some drinks, Libra? Do you indulge in the alcohol?
I normally drink oil.
Okay.
It makes me feel a little better than alcohol, which has very little effect on me.
Okay. But we'll switch over to Karik so that I can make sure we get in as much of this before 9 o'clock as we can.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. So Karik, you're still back at the start of the city. It's taken the others quite a while to get across the city. Your meeting might even be over by the time they get there. But you are now entering the Gold Dragon Inn that you saw from the outside.
He will walk in and sit at the bar.
Okay. It is midday. There seems to be a lot of people here eating food, having drinks, just generally having a midday meal here. Today is... Yes. So, you look around the room and order a drink real quick. The barkeep is a halfling, as are most of the Gold Dragon Inns. Wow, blanking on the word. Owners.
Proprietors.
Proprietor, that's the proper word. Thank you. Yes, what can I get for you?
Hi, I'd like to get a wine for a stranger, please.
For a stranger, you say?
Indeed.
Coming right up. And a stranger in particular. Oh, I see. Are you the... Yes, I got it. Yes. Funny turn of phrase. Not used to your mannerisms from Valinor, I presume?
Indeed, and he smiles and
I
nods.
have never gotten a chance to go down there. I'll remember that one for when I visit. A wine for a stranger. I'll be right back with your drink. And as he goes into the back room, as you're still you're still watching him disappear behind the door, when a hand hits the counter next to you, and somebody sits down at the bar next to you. A hooded figure, whose face you recognize. Well, seems that we have both lied about not coming alone then, huh?
Well, they got sent off. And I was not expecting you to be alone.
Yes, well, I have many friends around here, but figured it was less conspicuous this way, and something tells me I can trust you. But unfortunately, it is again, tricky to trust you without more concrete proof, which you said would be provided through the demonstration of a changeling in your group.
Indeed.
The barkeep comes back at this point with your wine and sets it down, and seeing that you now have somebody chatting with you, just nods to you and goes back to his business.
For obvious reasons, we prefer that she does not leave. That she does not enter the city.
Yes, that is true. That does make it tricky. I'm very busy around here, unfortunately. Well, it's probably a good thing that I'm able to be busy at all and that I have not been intercepted yet, but he looks around the room and turns back to you and says, let's head upstairs to the room that I've set aside here where there's less ears.
That would be great.
Okay. He puts a couple gold coins on the counter to pay for your wine and then heads upstairs. Like many gold dragon inns, there's just a quick spiral staircase up to a long hallway with another staircase at the end of it, and many rooms on either side of the hallway. He goes about halfway down the hall and then pulls out a key, opens the door, and enters. As you look through the doorframe, the room is empty, other than him and the furniture. Do you enter the room?
He does.
Okay. The half-elf stands by the door and closes it behind you, and then takes a seat at one of the chairs in the room and pulls up another one for you. Well, I do think we'll be safer from prying ears here, though I will say we probably shouldn't raise our voices too much.
Agreed. And at that moment, he will drop his, or after he sits down, he'll drop his disguise self.
Okay, and as you do, the elf kind of, or half-elf rather, kind of flinches a bit at the sudden bit of magic happening before him, but then calms down as he realizes that you're not in an aggressive stance or anything. Well, that's good. Now I've got a face to recognize as well.
Yes, it's only fair. My name is Carrick.
I am Damien. Nice to meet you, Carrick.
It is a pleasure.
I do hope it will continue to be, as I do hope I can trust you. Are you...
So,
He just
Go ahead.
kind of pauses and says, Are you from Valenar, or are you here, House the Randar business? Or are you just a traveler?
So many... Yes, yes, and yes.
I see. Well, I... kind of pauses for a moment. I don't know how much I should reveal to you yet, but again, there's a strange feeling I get that I should trust you. Almost like a voice in the back of my head is telling me so. And despite normally being a careful man, it says, the voice I would call the traveler. And just waits for your response.
A voice I know all too well.
Excellent. So I'm right to trust you then.
You are very right. Me and my group, the strangers, we are followers of the traveler.
He extends his right hand to you.
Carrick gladly shakes his hand.
It has been too long since we've had outsiders come in to help us. But I see that if the traveler sent you, then it's good news indeed.
Yes. Are we in dire straits? What's going on in this town?
Well, not so much dire straits as followers of the Traveler, and not all the people I work with are followers of the Traveler either, but that does go a long way in helping me trust you. We here in Daliost are, let's say, not on the best terms with Thrain and the Silver Flame, as I'm sure you can imagine. They do not take kindly to us as previously foreigners, especially foreigners that fought them in the war and took their land, and they took ours. And they rule this place with an iron fist. Obviously, they are never kind to the shifters or the changelings or those of that sort. But really, they're not kind to anyone that isn't Silver Flame here. So, I take advantage of my position as a higher-ranking officer of House Lyrandar. I am Damien de Lyrandar. And we are attempting to cause as much trouble as we can for them. We are essentially trying to start a revolution. I'm sure you saw part of that just last night.
Indeed. That was quite the show you put on.
Well, it was... Thank you. It was intended to be a show. There wasn't much to that other than a distraction, unfortunately. You're the one who caught me out there, and I'm glad it was just you and not any of the guards. I need to clean up my act a bit and become a bit stealthier, it seems. But I am glad that my fumble brought us into contact. Praise be the Traveler.
Praise be.
It works in mysterious ways, but that whole display was just to get me out of the city unnoticed.
You headed for the Stormspire, didn't you?
Very astute, yes. I'm sure you've noticed if you've been traveling in the area, a bit of our work there. We are, again, attempting to cause as much trouble as we can for this lot. We are hopeful, despite the dreary situation, that if we can cause enough trouble for the Silver Flame, they'll eventually give up on us. And while there may be bloodshed, we think freedom is worth it. It's not like there's not bloodshed when they're just in control and we're peaceful.
For sure, for sure. How many followers do you have with you? Of the Traveler, not of you, obviously.
Well, people I would consider close acquaintances here in the city that we gather regularly, about a dozen. But, as is, I'm sure, understandable, in such a oppressive environment, it is hard to gather in more than small packs. So I know that there are other groups around, but I do not know their locations or their whereabouts, in case I am ever taken in.
No, that's good. That's good. And you being from House Lyrandar is actually of help to us as well.
Oh, that is good. I would ask the same question of you. In your group, are there many followers of the Traveler?
Yes, I believe most, if not all of us.
Good, good. And how many do you number?
Ooh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 of us?
7, good. And if you were able to spot me, invisible and flying fast enough to chase after me, I imagine that you are a bit of a force to be reckoned with, and I hope that goes for the rest of your group as well.
Well, we did clash against Catalina twice.
As you say that, his eyes go wide, and he gets up from his chair, walks over to a cabinet, opens it up, and just pulls out a bottle, uncorks it, and just starts drinking. Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, that. Excuse all my secrecy as of late. That would be the reason why. We have clashed twice with Catalina from the Silver Flame, and we managed to get out alive both times, but she's kind of an enemy of ours.
Well, an enemy of ours for sure, but I am astounded that you got out alive, and this is very good news indeed if you were able to get alive out of such a situation.
Yes. We were hoping to put her down in the last encounter, but...
Quite unfortunate that you didn't. Well, I think you and your group may be just what we've been waiting for, Karek.
And yours, ours.
Praise be the traveler. You said there are 7 of you. When will the rest get here and... Well, I assume it may be difficult to meet within the city if there is a change among you.
Yes, that is the main issue.
How about
I
this?
have three of us in the city currently.
Well, that is good at least. You've gotten some of... Well, some of you have managed to slip through the guards. That is good. I imagine that it may be easier than normal to slip a changeling through their guard. Mostly because we have been causing such a distraction for them elsewhere. Not that they wouldn't be looking for changelings, but they might not have as much resources to devote to that as normal. However, I may still offer an alternative meeting point. I'm sure you've noticed, and we've already discussed it, the Stormspire south of town may be a good place for us to meet, as that is where much of my business takes place anyways, when I am out of sight of the town guard. You see, we go there, we try and hit as many of the guards as I can with lightning. And any of them that try to camp outside, we always have somebody on duty there to smite them before they can intervene. And fortunately for us, they rely on House Lorandar for their farming in this local area. Turns out it's just far enough north that they need the Stormspire in operation in order for them to grow crops properly. So we've been taking full advantage of that, as I'm sure you could guess.
Funny how that works out.
Indeed. Well, probably best if we don't look too much more suspicious by remaining in contact for too much longer, where eyes may be watching our coming and going from this building. Well, less so yours and more so my presence.
One question before we part. If I wanted to buy some supplies from House Lorandar, should I do that while we meet at the Stormspire?
Well, that is a good question. What do you need specifically? I can see if I can procure it for you. It would need to be, yes, a transaction. I need to keep things at least on the books properly enough that I don't raise suspicions, but...
It's part of a project my group is doing. We have a lot of us among us that are very craft-oriented.
I see.
We're in need of a water wheel and a bound water elemental.
Ah, I see. That's the kind of project you're working on. Yes. He kind of does... It looks like some gears are turning in his head for a second as he does some mental math. I think I can procure you these things, and I can do what I can to bring them to you. How about this? The Wheel of Wind and Water would be quite difficult to smuggle out of the city, but if you come to our local headquarters here and just conduct the trade officially there under the name... let's see. You said Stranger before, yes?
Yes. Well, I did have a fake name coming in.
Gotcha. But could we reuse Stranger then?
Sure.
If you attempt a transaction under the name Stranger, I will make sure the clerks know it is pre-approved.
Sounds good.
Very good. So you can conduct that business in town, and that will actually look very good. That will make sense why we have met and be an excuse for why we met in the bar like that. It's good. Very
Indeed.
good. Things are coming together. This must be the work of the traveler. Well, Carrick, I will see you tonight, hopefully, or tomorrow morning. I will likely be at the Stormspire all evening. I don't get much sleep these days, but it's for a good cause.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Damien.
It was a pleasure as well, Carrick. And he gives a pretty deep bow to you before opening the door and leaving the room, leaving you alone in this room.
Well, that went well. And he'll start heading to House Orion, I guess.
Okay, so at this point, it is a few miles journey there. So with that meeting and everything, so you catch up with your party members in House Orion, and you relay that information to them. But actually, we'll pick up with that meeting next time, and it'll be around that time that the rest of your party arrives outside the gates of Thaliost.
So, we may have the whole party role-playing.
I know! Whoa! How long has it been since the whole party has gotten to do things together?
It's not just us. Whoa.
Whoa!
I wouldn't blame the lead
Also,
players this time.
did anyone else get a little sketched out when the guy was asking, like, how many are you? Where's the rest of your party? Just me? Okay.
Not
Okay.
me, I'm a dumb trusting boy.
I was there with you. Sorry, I turned down my mic. That's why I'm.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
stood up and didn't want to bother.
I heard an uh-oh from
Okay.
Kieran, too, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, once he started
Yeah.
questioning, like, about the party, I was like,
So what we can like just wondering to help you.
Yes, exactly. Well,
And so that we can take out the people who do that first.